Sagittarius, your heart is calling, and it's louder than ever. You've been drifting, maybe even dodging something sacred. Make a wish. Now is the time to fill the space you've been avoiding. Let's do it. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. So, my Sagittarius friends and friends of Sagittarius, welcome back for another round. Chimone in, chimone. I do have some messages in meditation that came through, and then we'll get into the oracle cards that were pulled, and then the tarot, as we do, into the tarot cards. So, Sagittarius, the first thing that came through was actually the high heart chakra. The high heart chakra is just between the heart and the throat here. The difference between the high heart chakra and the heart chakra is that it deals more with unconditional love versus personal love or empathy that the heart itself deals with. So more of a universal connection. I do feel like we are moving into accepting this energy. This is something that we want to be in flow with all of the time. But with the rest of the message here, it feels like we're avoiding this love even for some reason, like full acceptance of the self. Okay. I do have a tuning fork here, tuned to 272.2 hertz, which is the high heart. I'm going to strike this a few times, you guys, just to work to open the chakra, and then I'll get into the rest of the messages here. So if you have sensory issues, just heads up. This is pretty soft, but just so you're aware, I'll go ahead and strike this a few times. Please enjoy. That feels so nice. One of my favorite centers for sure. I love everyone. I love you all. Okay. Welcome, welcome. All right, Sagittarius. So moving further into your message here. The next thing I was given was auditorium. And then I was shown the Jupiter symbol. Jupiter being your ruling planet. It's the planet of movement as well as expansion. So the way I took this, 222 on the timer, the way I take this is filling a space. So the intention to fill a space. I'm wondering, we ended up here on the empty room on the bottom of the Wild Unknown archetype deck. This is a space that we manifest from, but there's a little bit of a hang up if we're trying to fill the room with possessions, with 3D objects. We cannot ever fill the room, this experience, with those things. It is unfillable. So this is a pursuit of the ego if this is what we're falling into. Not that we're totally detaching from the ego. In this message in particular, what I'm getting is that we may be leaning into pursuits of the ego to avoid what it is that our hearts are telling us. And this feels like universal download here with collective consciousness being universal love. So we're trying to fill an auditorium with something. The next thing that I'm trying to tap into your energy here, and it's like you're running away. Being hard to pin down or not wanting to be in focus for some reason. So moving forward, the next thing that I was shown was a dragonfly. Dragonfly means many different things, but one of my favorites is that when we see a dragonfly, we can be sure there's an angel riding upon its wings. Make a wish. This is where making a wish comes from. I feel like this is an opportunity to make a pretty drastic change in the light of love. Okay. The next thing I was shown was a jackal, which brings me to Anubis. Anubis being up here, weighing the heart against the feather of truth. I feel like we're in a process of judgment right now that we're avoiding. We're trying to avoid judgment. And by judgment, I mean an audit, auditing ourselves. That's what this whole process is. We're going inside and deciding, are we who we want to be? Are we reflecting our true nature? Do I want this here? Do I not want this here? Okay. So moving into the oracle cards here, Wild Unknown archetype to start. Aletheia is the first one that came through. Aletheia is truth. What I get from this is emulating truth as a vibration. Truth has a vibration. It can be said that we can pick up when somebody's voice is not speaking the truth, as it is not the same vibration that it typically provides. And I would agree with that. I know there were a lot of studies done by the CIA, and I believe they still take stock in this. But the subconscious mind speaks while the conscious mind is speaking. So we're verbalizing something, but there's also something the subconscious mind is speaking. We can actually find that message in reverse speech when we play back certain things. I know in the 70s, they did a lot of subliminal messages in music and that sort of thing. This was the time that the CIA was studying this as well. I feel like there's something to this. We're constantly communicating what's going on in our subconscious mind too. And I feel like this is why we get nudges of intuition, because we're literally hearing what somebody is speaking if we listen in the right way with the heart. Okay. The goddesses Ma'at and Veritas are in the book there, Ma'at being the feather of truth here. So we're talking about some sort of truth, you guys, some sort of authenticity. Sagittarius, we're having a difficult time stepping into for some reason. So the next thing that came through here is the vessel. So the vessel, this is the body, the container, the cup. What I get from this is what is being contained and how. Is it being contained? Is the vessel, is this your body? Is it an emotional capacity? Is the vessel whole? Is it broken? Is it tired? Is it capable of holding whatever needs to be held here? I would wager that whatever's going on, something is pushing through what we have been holding. And this is a good thing, okay? It may not feel like a good thing right now, but ultimately it is a good thing. So the body specifically, when this card comes through along with the healer, which it has, we're talking more specifically about healing being possible to the degree that the container can hold it. Hope that makes sense. The container's health is required in order to maintain healing. Okay. Light worker, the gifted, the old soul. To remember is to heal. It can be said that there are specific people that are healers. I believe that we're all healers. We're constantly healing ourselves, and in doing so, we're also providing space to allow others to heal too. We're all constantly going through this process. We're remembering that we know how to do this, or we're remembering that we've forgotten. And this feels like something is coming up, you guys. Maybe there is a memory that's been pushed aside for a while, but it's coming up. Right now, you may not know specifically what this is, but I would wager you're experiencing some pretty intense emotions, that you're having a hard time connecting to something specifically. Okay, so the Phoenix Oracle, I felt called to move into next. The first one you got is Fire Transformation. This is one of the Jokers. So the Black Phoenix here. This is renewal and new beginnings. New beginnings. New beginnings are available if we're open to them and we have the courage to explore them. You're Sagittarius. Of course, you have the courage to tap into. I don't feel like this is an easy feat, though. Coming in like a black horse or dark horse. But it's you're more than capable of approaching this. So something beautiful and new is available. We have to have the courage to explore it, though, and to be open. That high heart is coming through again. The other card that came through here is Recognize Happiness. So there's a mirror that's being held up to you. To know yourself, you will find the path to happiness. Letting go of expectations is important here, as they will destroy your ability to find this true happiness. This card in particular talks about the possessions quality, like I was saying with the blank room there. Was it blank room? My mind's blank. Empty room. The empty room. So releasing expectations and releasing maybe a habit or pursuit to throw a Band-Aid on what it is that we're feeling by purchasing things, okay? Again, nothing wrong with purchasing things. If this is the way that we soothe, though, we're not going anywhere quickly, okay? All right, let's move into this a little bit further. Animals, yep. Yeah. For Sagittarius here, please. General energy to start with this message. What do we have going on for Sagittarius? Sagittarius. What's this one? Both? Oh, both. Okay. Okay. Vulture and Peacock come through here. Perfect. Right on time. Right on time. So the vulture being the energy of death, transition, something coming to an end so something new can start. Releasing old expectations so that we can truly pursue happiness. With the peacock here, we can get in the way of this, though. We can avoid this if we want to, but it's going to catch up to us at some point. The vulture must come through and strip the decaying body for the health of all. Otherwise, we've got a rotting corpse, and nobody wants to be around that, okay? Especially you. You deserve to have some fresh air. So the peacock coming through here as well. This is a rare personality that's able to digest any emotion. So we're talking about something emotional, you guys. It feels like, so with the shadow, whatever's in the shadow here, this is typically a component of ourselves that belongs in the light. But somebody, including ourselves, has told us at some point it does not belong in the light. This is typically 11:11 on the timer. This is typically done in childhood by our caregivers, and we adopt that narrative and bring it forward. So this could be a component of your personality. I mean, anything. The way you laugh, the way you smile. I know, like for me, I've got many comments about all of those things now that I'm a little bit more visible. I know that some of them in particular too were things I heard as a kid too, and I adjusted certain things about myself because I thought that they were unacceptable. Coming out of that horseshit now, and this is where you guys are too. So to have courage here to digest whatever this is, and if you can't digest it, then spit it up to get it out of your experience. It's not your poison, is what I'm getting, you guys, but you're carrying it around as if it is. Okay. What to Sagittarius, or what is blocked for Sagittarius right now? What is blocked in this message here for Sagittarius? The bat. Okay. Seeing in the dark. So we are certainly talking about the shadow. The bat does have echolocation to be able to see in the dark. There's encouragement here in the book, though, to wait until the dawn arrives in order to see clearly. So the sun rising, and this is standing out to me here on the vessel too, the sun rising here to illuminate what needs to be illuminated in the shadow. Hold on for one more day. Okay. What does Sagittarius need at this time, please? Courage, you guys. Eagle comes through. Don't be afraid to grab the fire that you are. And you had fire transformation here too. Whatever this is, you guys, it feels like a part of who you are as an authentic person. The way you think, the way you express, the way you speak, the way you share, the way you create art or converse. You know what I mean? There's some component of the way that you show up here in this physical realm that you're hiding. And I don't mean, it has to be anything insane. It could be maybe somebody's told you you're too emotional, right? Maybe someone's told you that you laugh too much, or they think a component of you is too feminine or too masculine. Okay? Things like that. Let's move forward further into this message, please. Which deck do we want to do? Modern Witch. Ooh, okay. I did pull this out. It's been a minute. All right. Modern Witch Tarot here for Sagittarius, please. With this message, we're going to look at your hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams first. Four of Swords here at the split. So we are talking about an opportunity to heal the heart, you guys. To heal the heart. I feel like the high heart has come in here because we're struggling with personal love here. We need a little bit of a jump start from the original blueprint that is love. Okay. What else here for Sagittarius, please? This one. Wheel of Fortune here at the bottom. So, I'm getting used to this microphone here. Wheel of Fortune, this is your hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Having luck improve. I feel like mostly this is like a fatalistic event. The hope here is for something to be done. You're feeling some sort of pressure. Maybe you are fully aware of what it is that this message is speaking about, this component of yourself that's been relegated to the shadows. There was always a time to approach this, and now is the time. It is time. It is time. Okay. Okay. Other deck here. Curious Travels. Okay. For Sagittarius, please. This, we're going to look at your fear and aversion, and then we'll get further into the tarot reading. Fear aversion here, please, for Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to know? Gosh, that was kind of like a shuffle. My fingers. I'm still getting used to this microphone here. It sounds so much better, but I'm used to having one that's off camera here. We'll get used to it. We'll get used to it. Look at us, Sagittarius, learning new skills. Look at us. 15:51 on the timer. Magician. So, fear aversion being the magician. I feel like you guys are afraid of your own energy, whatever this component is about yourself. It's provided pain. Like I said, caretaker, friends, or people at school, community, whatever, that have teased you, made fun of you for something, or even something more violent. Maybe you had parents that were abusive towards a certain quality of yours. I think what stands out to me as an example, just because this has been my experience too, as a man, like being too effeminate, right? I know there are some people that lose their fucking shit as far as parents go over children that are not emulating the proper energy for their gender, right? As an example, okay? The magician here, though, that you already have everything that you need to create what you want. You are already a whole experience. Your fear here is that maybe that's not so. You felt that, or maybe you can feel that deep, deep down, but you don't feel it right now. Okay? Okay, let's get into this a little bit further here. So general energy to start, 7 of Wands. So maintaining your position here. I feel like we're extending the difficulty. This may be why we're having a hard time holding healing in a container, because we're fabricating the edges. Interesting. So this is holding our position, defending against something as well. What I'm getting is that these edges that we're holding, or the boundaries that we're holding up, the barriers, are not our natural boundaries or barriers. This is something that's been fabricated to survive. No blame or shame over this. We're simply illuminating what's going on. And 7 of Swords too. Jeez, guys. Cheesy Pete. 7 of Swords with the 7 of Wands. This is a sneaky theft, betrayal kind of energy. It's taking only what's needed. So along the same lines as the 7 of Wands here with the artificial boundary, this is a theft or betrayal towards ourselves. We're stealing from our own happiness by trying to mimic what somebody else has told us our life should be, what our experience should look like, etc. In taking only what's needed here with the 7 of Swords, I feel like this is the action that's being taken, Sagittarius. You are only allowing certain parts of yourself to be present as a matter of survival. Like I said, varying degrees of what may have been experienced here over the years, from people teasing to maybe even physical violence. I know I've been there. I've been battered and assaulted many times for being gay. So I feel this, you guys. And I will tell you, if that's something that you're dealing with, it doesn't have to be specifically about sexuality. But the way that you show up in what people expect you to be as far as a gender, as another example there, I feel you. And please understand, no, it's not easy to face crap like that. But I feel personally it's a lot harder when I put my head on my pillow at the end of the night to not be myself, even in the face of potential physical danger, than it is to choose me and possibly face danger. Okay? Not saying that you guys are in danger. With that dragonfly coming through here and making a wish, ask for support. I'm saying a bubble. Calgon, take me away. Calgon, take me away. You have protection available to you. That 7 of Wands energy here can be a defensive energy that can be used for good. But right now, I feel like it's not serving you. It's taking something away from you. Okay, let's look at your good stuff here right now. Rat me out, Sagittarius. Two of Pentacles comes through. This is balance. I take this as, since we have Aletheia here with the truth and the light and the dark, moving between the light and the dark. You have extra support right now to move into the dark as you need to, into the shadow. Okay, I'm not talking about good and evil. I'm talking about what's been hidden here, components of yourself, dreams, desires, wants, okay, ideas, maybe art even that you've created. A balancing effect is coming through in support. What else here, please, for Sagittarius? King of Swords, too. Discernment. This is somebody who, I feel like this is you. This is energy that's being charged into you. What I'm seeing is this energy coming through the high heart, calming or soothing something that's painful in the heart so that the mind can find its way into balance as well. Taking the helm again. This is an excellent general. I feel like this is you in training, okay? This is you naturally, but there's something in the shadow that's pulling you away from your natural skill. Interesting, okay. I feel called to pull one of these cards here. What is this deck? I just got this one too. Love and Light mantra cards. For the good stuff here, please, for Sagittarius. Be the change. Number 9, something coming to an end. I am the change. It all starts with me. Whatever the narrative has been up to this point, and whoever has given you that narrative, it ain't your story. Not today. Not ever, okay? Be brave is what I'm getting here. Be the change that you wish to see. And I know this can be easier said than done. Like I said, I truly understand fear that comes with choosing to be oneself. And you still deserve to be whoever you are. Sagittarius. I love you, okay? What we don't see coming here, what's in the shadow, what is in the dark? The High Priestess. Love this, actually. So the High Priestess is the guide and guardian to the subconscious realm, the shadow. She is the veiled portions of Isis, of Venus, the divine feminine. She breaches that barrier between the conscious and the unconscious realms, bringing information back from the unconscious realms for us to have, to see, to process. So what we may not see right now is this is happening. Now is the time, like with that the wheel coming through here, these fatalistic events, you're feeling something emotionally, like I said. Something is feeling like pressure. Under pressure. And that's because there's an illumination happening. There is information coming up from the subconscious, excuse me. Queen of Pentacles to clarify this here. Actually, there's a note of fertility on both of these. The pomegranate here symbolizes fertility. The Queen of Pentacles is abundance and fertility as well. What we don't see here is that we have a choice. We always have a choice. What we also are not seeing right now is how fertile our subconscious realm is, how fertile the shadow actually is. This is why it's so important to be intentional with what's in there, to take an audit, to pull out what may be toxifying, because anything that's happening in the subconscious is what is creating our experience around us. The conscious mind plants its seed into the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind fertilizes that and expands it. I feel like there is, whether you want to call that God, love, our guides, angels, this is the force of the High Priestess here that's coming through and bringing things up from our subconscious. Because it's time to reprogram that. Whatever that story or narrative is, whatever it is we pushed away that's a part of ourselves, is being skewed as far as a projection goes, where it resides right now. And this is why we're participating in maybe purchasing things to feel better, because we don't want to hear that voice. Anything else here, please, on what we don't see in the shadow? Release grudges, wounds, and pent-up feelings through healthy activities. Creativity, have fun, express yourself in new ways as well. Art is one of those things that's standing out, you guys. Whether this is music, writing, dancing, painting, drawing, whatever. I'm not talking about being an artist for money. I'm talking about participating in creation. We are creators. If we're not creating, we're not creators. I mean, we're creating subconsciously, whether we want to or not. Let's step into a conscious realm, though. Let's create what it is that we want. Releasing here, though. This is why the High Priestess is coming forward, to show you what needs to be released. The story ain't working anymore. That you're imperfect, or damaged in some way. We're all imperfect. You don't deserve love, or you only deserve love conditionally, since we're talking about the high heart and unconditional love. Okay. Oh, hey, judgment here at the bottom of this. I didn't even realize that. The magician was at the bottom as your fear, but I pull it aside here. So yeah, judgment. I was just talking about that in meditation. An audit, you guys. That's what this is all about. And until you take this audit, until you give yourself a square look here in the old miroir, in the mirror, this is going to continue to come up. And there is no relief. Besides more cowbell, obviously, but it's still not going to solve the full problem, right? Take the time to really look at this and make that change. Man in the mirror. Man in the mirror. Make that change, Sagittarius. You deserve to not continue to run away from this, whatever this is. So your challenge at this time, your difficulty, King of Wands. So component of leadership. In the difficulty here, challenge, I do get arrogance, you guys. And I don't, what I'm hearing is passed down, like inherited arrogance. This doesn't belong to you, but it's protecting what's in the shadow here. The High Priestess and the King of Wands going off to battle here. The High Priestess will win. Okay. She will win. King of Wands may think that they will, but she will eventually win. See that as like water breaking something down over everything, breaking everything down over time. In this card in particular, the King of Wands is holding these two people apart. This is, I feel, your conscious and your unconscious selves, or fragmented pieces of yourself and your whole self being held separate through arrogance, through somebody else's anger. But you've adopted this too. This may be difficult to identify and untangle yourself from. We've had a lot of like processing emotions, stuff coming up from the subconscious realm, waiting for the dawn to break in order to see something clearly. I feel like I'm just seeing like you're being funneled towards the light. The light is coming through no matter what. Like there aren't blackout curtains strong enough to really fully seal all of that sunlight coming in the morning. No matter how much you try to block it out, it's still coming through. 28 on the timer. Okay. The Fool as well in your challenge. This is starting over, starting a new journey. Having faith, taking courage, you guys. Taking that leap of faith. I feel like this, what is symbolic of the arrogance here, what's protecting this component of yourself in the shadow, as we face off with that voice is really good at making us feel very small. I wouldn't be surprised if it came from a parent. We're being asked to listen or hear that voice and take the leap anyway. They're listening to this little iPod here or listening to music as they're taking that leap. And the sun is rising here too. The sun never being at its full peak in the sky as well, symbolizing that spirit is always rising. Spirit never reaches an apex. Having faith in this process here, you guys. Allow yourself to be elevated. Okay. What else here in the challenge? You want one of these? Okay. Anything else here in the challenge, please, for Sagittarius? Three of Wands. This is your expansion, allowing ourselves to expand. We have that in meditation in the beginning too, with Jupiter coming through in the auditorium. I feel like I'm seeing like a garden with expansion. We are either tending to the garden, we're weeding so that we can expand what it is we're intending to grow, or we can leave it alone and whatever is most aggressive or violent is what's going to take hold. You have a choice here, you guys. It may not feel like it. Maybe you feel slave to aggression or frustration right now. Become curious about that. Allow yourself to explore that and see what in the hell's going on. Okay. All right. I'm going to pull a Medicine Heart Oracle here to close off your message, please. Sagittarius, for Sagittarius, please, Spirit. What else does Sagittarius need to know at this time? Shaman's Mirror. The mirror, you guys. Some mirror work could be beneficial. So, Shaman's Mirror. You possess the power to avert difficulty. You will realize what is happening at a deeper level and what is being asked of you spiritually. There is an empowered inner response to an outer trigger that will lighten your heart. Reflect upon your situation, and you shall activate your spiritual authority to respond in an empowered way that enhances and enriches your life's path. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror here, you guys. I would even encourage you to dive on in, all right? Whatever is scaring you about seeing a part of yourself, I dare you to go sit with that piece. Go take that piece out to dinner and treat it with love and see what happens, okay? Sagittarius, I love you, and I hope this message is helpful. Thank you for stopping by today. If you do need help with anything a little bit more personal to you, I have private readings open and available currently. I may be taking a break here during the summer, later in the summer, just so that I can have a rest. So if you need some help right now, I encourage you to take a look. I do have a personal membership available as well. You can apply for that, and we can communicate over whether or not that's a good fit. Links are in the description of the video as well as pinned comment. I also have my PayPal there and also accept super thanks here on YouTube for donations if you feel called to support the channel in that way. And I truly appreciate those who do. I wouldn't do this without you. So Sagittarius, please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Be well.